everybody, I'm Static Stardust and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So we are in the home stretch for episode 3. So now we know we have our possible villain for this. We know who possibly framed the samurai, and we know who could be the bad guy. DeVosque is looking like a good suspect right now. Alright, October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4! Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. He's more edgy than usual. Yeah, that's right. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls DeVosque to the stand. Miss DeVosque is a producer who is present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Yep. No. DeVosque, I'm a producer from Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vosk. Please give the court your testimony considering that Please give the court a testimony of the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll have to catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Phoenix. Phrasing. Alright, the day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There is a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Alright, so we have the van. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop at the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 sharp and ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. His Stop interrupting the testimony. The same can be said to you, Mr. Edward. And please stop banging your little desk. It hurts my ears. Oh, she's gonna hate the both of us. There was rehearsal. There's to be rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering. No. The meeting ended at 4 o'clock and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was 15, so I had to sell tickets. At 2:30, we had 15-minute break. Hold it! Hold on! You had sell takey wasn't me. This is how you play it. You just question everything. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. Irritates me. Does exactly. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. There was a 15-minute break. Sal and I had T-bone steaks in the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Okay, hang on. Found the employee area. Steak plate. Manila used this van to drive Boston. Moment? Find anything? Kind of wish she'd say a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna go to the end. Sound night T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. T-bone steak plate found in the employee area. On it are traces of sleeping powder. Nell used this van to drive Voss down to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. I'm at full. Before I do that, let's check again. We have the... You know what? I think that is it. I think that is it. Oh, no. Yep. Your Honor. Objection overruled. Sound night T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, may I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vosk and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there was no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare! Miss Vosk? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too. You ate a boneless steak. You didn't eat steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like the incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vosk doing her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai. Picking on Salmonella. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai! Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vosk left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai! And then you did it. You did it to him! You know you had to do it to him. You killed him with your own hands! Order! Mr. Wright! Isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vosk. Good luck, Nick. Amari screwed him at halfway. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Ah, yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. Oh no. How could I possibly use that heavy weapon as a spear? I'm gonna save before I fuck it up more. Woo boy! Alright, 5 and 6 are my save points. Alright. I think you could. You couldn't, could you? You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see. Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found laying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. Can you prove that the samurai spear was not the murder weapon? Well, it's a good thing I saved. Mended with a break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. I'm gonna go on a limb. Why not? Wrong, Mr. Wright. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now, tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon? I can tell you. I would make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was. I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Judge, you have no idea. Very well, let's see the murder weapon then. This one. Oh! Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jackhammer standing at the top of the stairs. Oh. Order! Order! If I cannot have order in this trial, will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very incident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What are you saying? Yes. What are you saying, Wright? Yes. What happened 5 years ago happened again. has happened again! Gasp! Mr. Wright continued. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss DeVosque meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Through whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. She's stress smoking now. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that caused the other man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Strange, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my scriptwriting staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil masquerade costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned it to the trailer in all the span of 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside of his costume? She could have used the van or had Sal drive her there. There wasn't enough time. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She couldn't have dealt with it. I bet she could have moved it. She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than her own hands? For instance? Actually, for the matter, there's no need for her to do it in the deed of 15 minutes. And there was a way for her to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. The van! Miss Vosk, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it! Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the masquerade costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? I mean, he literally does everything at our beck and call, so yes. Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed into the van and put into the costume. There's no way for Miss Vosk to have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vosk, shall I continue? I'm stress smoking my ass off. No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? What? So what happens next? Don't me! Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean DeVosque, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Are you serious? Oh my god! Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it? I mean, we went through all that trouble. Mr. Wright, you just engaged in a battle of wits. And the results of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Are you kidding me? Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Honor! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it is as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure? Well, I came here as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do? You did testify again? Are you kidding me? Testify again? Guys, I'm not gonna lie. This either might be a short episode or a... Whoop. Alright. I have a couple of minutes until I have to leave for work today, and yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and see how far I can get with testifying her. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn! To come this far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vosk. Edgeworth? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. But I didn't. Oh my god. This is a taste of what Edgeworth will do in advance in court later on. Like, I'll just say this now. He will update the autopsy report. Just remember those words. Edgeworth will update the autopsy report later on in the different episodes. Just you wait. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness! Why are you bullying me? I'm correct. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Voss repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick! Why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But... I wasn't the only one who said he always gets a guilty verdict. After all that, Edgeworth... He's like, I can't believe this. After finding the body... Alright, let's see. I got a couple of minutes. I can do this. Let's go. Alright, after finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she'll falter for sure. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Alright, after finding the body. Yeah, I'm already, like, halfway. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body laying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press her. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around. You discovered a murdered body and no person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vosk? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting a location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, that explains that. Very well, Miss Vosk, you may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. We stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey, Nick? Why is everybody so quiet? Somebody should do something to lighten things up. It's a murder trial. Security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai, press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to also have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to him. I don't think there's anything I can use. Asked to be left out of the proceedings. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seemed that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered it for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot of writing on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everybody they didn't require questioning. I went back to this trailer to get my scripts and direction notes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Press harder. Wait a second! I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh, yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Voss continued. Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Voss said she didn't bring the scripts because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to known about the murder before going to the studio. Order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, what you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I'm wondering, how much would that be to change from prosecutor to attorney and vice versa? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement. However, regardless of how the court may see my role here. Now, Miss Vosk, do you have any explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? A kangaroo court? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very good. The witness may change her testimony to reflect on this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. Did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal? He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg her on this, or everything we've known up till this time will be wasted. I knew Hammer was injured, and I couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. Okay, before I do that, hang on. Nope. I meant to just check the court record. I'm not gonna hit triangle on my controller, but for now, I still have a few minutes. Okay, I could probably get this done, hopefully before I go to work. Let's see. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Excuse me. How did you know about the injury? Alright, I'm going to save... here. I'm gonna save it number 1. Alright, I'm gonna go off on a limb. Oh! You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Yes, Mr. Hammers is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer! Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammers who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vosk, you heard Manila wrong. You saw Mr. Hammer limping. Saw him limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes! Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly! Miss Vosk? You met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order! I will have order! Witness! Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see. Sneak out of this one, Vosk. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world do I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he had fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on this matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? I have proof and I'll show you. Present to the court the evidence as to Miss Vosk's motive to murder. How? 1, 2, 3. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vosk? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Devoska's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Devosk, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil miscreant. Yes, undoubtedly it was his constant source of shame for being the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Devosk, not the other way around. What motive would Devosk have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never did get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Uh-oh. Real evidence. Okay. Allow me to present to the court the motive. Oh, I have only a few minutes. Okay. Let's see. It's not the van, it's not the steak, not the pills, not the camera, not that. I would say it's the photo again, wouldn't it? This is my proof. And this tells us why the boss wanted to kill Mr. Hammer. I'd say it's all the proof that needs... Nick, we're so close to think this through. Snap. She had no motive. What if she had no motive? She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? Like, huh? She had no... It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vosk did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vosk. What? What? What the hell happened? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill DeVosk, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So you did it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Ah! Miss Vosk! What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vosk, please try to remain calm. No. How could this... It was an accident! Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vosk! No! Please don't die. Please. Wow. That is heavy. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. What happened in this courtroom, man? Oh boy. Mr. Edgeworth, where's DeVosk? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I mean, knowing her and how much money she has, she can literally bail herself out if she wanted. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers is innocent. That he should be found is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Yay! Yay! That is all. Court is adjourned. Whew, boy. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vosk, but to think that he tried to frame me for murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Tell me. Why did Hammer want to blame me? I don't know. Well, I think this is... Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in kid shows, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I've changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Yeah, about that. I can't wait to get back in this sweaty costume and... I was gonna say, about that... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Yeah! Nick Edgeworth! Oh, hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Say something right. I'm not good at small talk. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Voss would have gone away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Will Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar! Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. What the? Unnecessary feelings? Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, unease and uncertainty. What the hell? Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Well, fuck you too, Edgeworth. Mr. Wright. Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me! What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? I'll tell you, in the next episode. And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Hey! Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're gonna watch it with me, right? Oh man, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? You have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Oh boy. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll reveal his face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready to reveal for the real Will Powers. Hey! The end, finally! And just because. Hey! And an achievement unlocked! A brand new episode has been added. Turnabout Goodbye. Well. I'll save it at the very end, why not? Alright, but thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Next episode, we will start Turnabout Goodbyes, and from what it looks like, it looks a little bleak from what I've seen. But thankfully, hopefully this episode is just as interesting and suspenseful as this episode has been, or rather these episodes have been. If you like this, leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to check out more stuff, I've played more episodes of Phoenix Wright, starting from episode 1 through 2, and episodes 2, 3, and such. So I have other episodes of Phoenix Wright somewhere on the screen, and I have other games somewhere on the screen. If you like this, please like, share with a friend, and if you really like this, check out some of my stuff. I am Static Stardust, and I will see you guys in the next episode on this channel. Goodbye.